Okay, so we are live now.
Yes, hi.
Hello, hello. So we are live. We are coming to you from two different groups. So if you are on, say hello. Just drop something in the chat, and we want to say hello to you as you are coming in. So you might be in I've got a flight to catch, you might be in living a rad travel life. It doesn't matter where you're tuning in from. Just say hello, drop something in the comments so that we know that you are watching. And if you are watching, invite a friend, text a friend, tell somebody that you're watching so that they can come on and talk as well. Because we want to know. We want to talk to y'all today.
Yes.
So Tamika and I are here, and we're just going to talk to you guys today a little bit, maybe about 30 minutes or so, but we want to see how things are going. We have one person checking in from Facebook. Hey, hey. And
Hey.
likely, if you've never been on StreamYard before, you have to give it permission to give your name. But if you don't want to give your name, that's fine. It'll just show you as Facebook user. Thank you for hopping on. Thank you for chatting with us today, and invite your friends. Tell them to come on and say hello. All right. So you're probably wondering, like, who are these people? Who are these people, and what are they talking about? Well, we're gonna go ahead and introduce ourselves, and we'll introduce the topic. You probably already know we're gonna be talking about Paris today, and we're so excited to talk to you guys about Paris. Hey, Elaine, thanks for hopping on. Nice to see you. So invite a friend, tell a friend that we're live today. All right, so I'm going to get started, and then Tamika will introduce herself. I am Andrea. I am the owner of Rad Travel Group. Um, we offer amazing travel experiences around the world for men and women. And Tamika, you want to share a little
Oh,
bit about yourself?
yes, I am Tamika Williams. I'm the CEO of I've Got a Flight to Catch, and my organization also curates trips that are typically co-ed and mostly international, but we do some domestic travels too. And we're just two women here who love to travel and love to expose other people to our love of traveling.
Yes, we do. I see we have a couple people coming in from I've got a flight to catch. So say hello, hello. If you're from out of I've got a flight to catch, so Tamika can show some love back to you. All right. Okay. So what are we going to talk to you guys about today? Well, today we're going to talk about Paris. So if you follow Tamika, you know she just came back from Paris. She had an amazing trip. The whole time, Tamika, I was like, "Oh, what you doing today? What you gonna do tomorrow?" I was scoping. I was checking you out the whole time.
Yes, yeah, it was a great trip. I cannot say enough good words about how much fun we had, So Paris is a place that you just need to experience it for yourself.
Then that's the first thing I was gonna say to you. Like, how do you describe it to someone who's never been?
Okay, well, Paris is known as the city of love. It's known as the city of lights, and it really is. It's romantic. It does not stop. We were out one night trying to get into a live jazz club.
Oh,
And the
nice.
streets were packed as if it were a carnival going on, a music festival going on.
Wow.
The streets were shoulder to shoulder packed, and this was well after midnight, and people were still trying to get into the various clubs there. So think of New York City on steroids.
Oh my goodness, Tamika, that is crazy. I was not expecting that part. I don't know why I didn't think that it was just like would be packed like New York City.
Yes, yes.
That is crazy. Wow. I can't wait. I can't wait to experience that. Another thing, what was your absolute like what was your favorite thing?
Oh, well, I think I would probably say having lunch at the Eiffel Tower.
Okay.
We went up to the Eiffel Tower and we looked over the city of Paris. And then we went back down to, I believe it's level 2 is where the restaurant was. And let me tell you, I used to drink Chardonnay, but I stopped some years ago. But they served us Chardonnay with the lunch, and this was the best tasting Chardonnay I have ever had. I
Good
went
to
back for
know.
seconds.
Yes,
And
good
I'm
to
like,
know.
if I'd been drinking Chardonnay that tasted like this, I would still be drinking it. So it was, I mean, the entire lunch, everything was great, but the Chardonnay just took me by surprise.
Wow.
So, but yeah, to go up to the Eiffel Tower to see Paris from that vantage point, and then to go down and enjoy a very exquisite lunch at the inside the Eiffel Tower, that to me was next level.
All right. I can't wait to eat at the Eiffel Tower. It is
Yeah.
on my list. Is definitely on my trip. It's one of those things that you just have like for me, I've just dreamed about it. So I'm
Yes.
glad that it was a your favorite thing because I know I'm
Yeah.
gonna love it. And I saw
Yes.
your outfit. You were cute. You
Oh,
was
thank you.
cute. Yes. You were looking
You know,
good.
well, we were actually, our trip happened during Fashion Week. So we were there
Okay.
during Fashion Week. So, I figure you got to do a little something.
Right.
And although we didn't get to go to any fashion shows, while we were at the Eiffel Tower, there was a Christian Louis Vuitton fashion show going on. So
Wow.
some of the people got to take pictures with the models. One of the pictures we posted was a Christian Louis Vuitton shoe that one of the models had on with a very unique heel. So,
Okay.
we got close to the fashion show, although we weren't actually able to get there. But, that's what you see when you go to Paris. So,
I
we
think
actually saw.
that was perfect.
Yes.
To you weren't in the show, but you were close enough to it.
We were close enough to
Absolutely.
take pictures with one of the models.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
So, whenever you think about Paris, I always think about those iconic landmarks. And you've
Yes.
already talked about that Eiffel Tower. How did you feel when you first saw it in person?
It is absolutely beautiful. The first night there, our hotel was within walking distance of the Eiffel Tower. So, we got to our rooms, dropped our bags, and we walked to the Eiffel Tower. And as we were walking to it, it lit up. And the
Mm,
lights kind of danced a little bit. What we didn't know is that at the top of every hour, uh, the lights do that. So,
okay.
we were trying to make it there to get pictures with the lights in the background, but it happens at the top of every hour. And, it's just absolutely beautiful to see. And while you're on your way to the Eiffel Tower, there are street performers, and of course, vendors and people selling things. There's a carousel that's right there by the Eiffel Tower that you can
Mm,
ride. So, it was truly the things that dreams are made of, to be in
right.
Paris and to see all the things that are happening at any given time.
That is awesome. I definitely want to see the Eiffel Tower. I just can't wait. I'm so excited about it. I was
Yeah.
definitely living through you while you were on that trip every single day. Okay, so this is a picture that you posted. I love this one.
Yes. Yes.
I was like, this is just the perfect silhouette. It's great.
Yeah, there were several people on the trip that we just took that are like natural photographers. They just hit the button and a beautiful picture happens. So we were blessed that we had a couple different natural photographers on the trip. And then we also went to the next level and had a professional photographer come we had a professional photo shoot. And then we also had him come to our farewell dinner. Yeah, we have some beautiful pictures from Paris.
You
And,
definitely
and, and
have
the
some
pictures,
nice.
yeah, and the pictures don't do it justice.
Yes. Let's take a look at another one. Again, when you talk about those iconic landmarks that we've all seen when we look for Paris or you Google Paris, you get some of these iconic landmarks. I love this shot as well that you posted.
Yes, the Arc de Triomphe. We
Mhm.
did a city tour of Paris, our second day in Paris. So we stopped by the Arc de Triomphe. And what I didn't know is there's actually a viewing location on the top of the Arc de Triomphe. So we could see some people up there, but the traffic was kind of hectic. And our tour guide was like, no, you all are not crossing the street. Take your picture from here.
Right.
So we didn't get to go to the top of the Arc de Triomphe, but we took some absolutely wonderful pictures.
Yes, I have on our trip we're gonna do the same city tour, and I was talking to our guide as well, and they were talking about how sometimes the traffic is just so
Yeah.
heavy and that you
Yeah.
just can't get over. But I think whether you get to the top of the viewing point or you're outside looking in, it's just definitely one of those landmarks that you want to see while you're there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I really love this one. Now the next
Yes.
one, I thought, okay, Tamika definitely knows how to work the camera on this one. I was like,
Oh,
this
yes.
is amazing.
Yes. We went to Versailles to go to the Palace of Versailles,
Hmm.
which used to be a palace and is now a museum. And this is their garden.
It is
You know,
beautiful.
and this is just a part of the garden. So if you decide to go to Paris and want to take a day trip to Versailles to visit the palace, there are different type of tickets. And the
Hmm.
ticket that you would want to give you access to the gardens is called the passport ticket. So that way
Okay.
you get to tour the inside of the palace, and you also get to go outside to the garden area. And the garden area of the Palace of Versailles was my favorite part of the entire tour. So
Okay.
yes, so you want the passport ticket, and you want to go to the gardens with your camera.
Yes. It was, I mean, when I saw this one, I was like, okay, I see what she's doing here. It was
Yeah.
really, really nice. I love it.
And I
So,
think that was just with my camera phone. I don't think I had the big boy on this
oh,
particular shot. I think that was just from a camera shot and or telephone camera.
uh-huh.
And it's beautiful. If I do
Sometimes
say
those
so myself.
I have an iPhone, but sometimes it'll surprise me. I'll have a shot. I'm like, oh, that looked like it was done by a professional.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that. It's beautiful grounds, and it's hard to imagine that people used to live like that.
I
You know,
know.
that there
Yeah,
were little kids that this was what they woke up to every day, and
yeah.
that was life for them.
It feels so regal, it
Exactly.
feels that whole next level royalty is how it makes me feel. I'm
Exactly.
so excited about the trip to Paris next summer. I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, so we've talked about some of the very cool iconic landmarks, but of course you can't talk about Paris without talking about the Louvre Museum. You
Oh, yes.
know, you have to talk about the museum, and I know that you toured the museum.
Yes.
Um, before we get to the real special part of the museum, let's talk about the Mona Lisa. We've
Yes.
heard about it, we've seen it in videos with Beyonce and Jay-Z and
Yes.
everywhere else. What were your thoughts when you saw it?
It's itty bitty.
Yes.
It is extremely small portrait, and
Yeah.
the line to get there, they actually have uh, guides, so it's sort of like
Mhm.
a maze that you will have to wait in line to get up to get close to her. So several people just stood in the back of the corridor or the room where her picture is and zoomed in
Mhm.
because, it is a little maze to get up to get close to her. So, but you absolutely have to stop by and see the Mona Lisa when you go to the Louvre. And
Right.
you will want to wear comfortable shoes.
Okay.
It is
For sure.
amazing. We didn't get to see most of it just because it's so huge. It probably would
Mhm.
take 2 to 3 days to see all of the Louvre. So, we hit the most important parts with the seeing the Mona Lisa, and then many of us in our group wanted to go downstairs to the African artifacts.
Mhm.
So, which isn't nearly as packed as
Right.
where the Mona Lisa is. So, a lot of us spent our time downstairs in the African artifacts section of the Louvre.
My sister, when she went to Paris years ago, and she's going again next year when we go in July, she said the same thing about the Mona Lisa, that most people don't know that it's very small.
Yeah.
But you know, she's told me that, but I still want to see it.
Yes.
But you just hit on what I'm most interested in seeing next year when we go to Paris, and that's those African artifacts. And you
Yes.
posted a few of them.
Yes.
And what you said, this was downstairs, right?
Yes, it's on the lower level, and as you can see, the crowds are nowhere near what you see when you go through there's a section where they have Christian themed art. You know, you'll see a lot of like David and Goliath or
Mhm.
Virgin Mary, and we actually passed through that before we got to where the Mona Lisa is. All
Okay.
of those corridors were very crowded. And that could have been partly because it was during Fashion Week,
Right.
but it was extremely crowded. And then when we got to the African artifacts, you know, we almost had the lower level to ourselves. So I think it's definitely worth going down there to see. I mean, as you can see in the pictures,
Hmm.
it's absolutely beautiful artwork, you know, and you need to put your eyes on it in person because the pictures just
Absolutely.
don't do it justice.
I'm with you. I gotta see it for myself. I definitely
Yes,
want to see it in person. And these are stolen artifacts. These were
yes,
not given to France or given
yes,
to the Louvre Museum. These are African artifacts that were stolen.
yes,
So
yes,
this is where I probably will spend a good most of my time
yeah,
because
yep.
I
And
want to see them.
one of the things that I know, because I tried to, because you know, in August we were in Ghana, so I
Hmm.
was trying to look to see, you know, if I could tell what came from Ghana versus other parts of Africa,
Right.
and a lot of the tags on the artwork just says from Africa.
Oh.
You know, and I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
but when you're still in the artwork, you know, you don't take too much time to say, oh, this came from the western region of Ghana,
Mhm.
you know. So it's sad that that part of it hasn't been documented, so we can know that, you know, that this was the king's stool that he sat on during ceremonies, or you know, those
Right.
things that they're lost because when you're stealing, you don't take good notes.
Right. We got a question here. Did you see the Madonna?
I did not. I did not see the Madonna. The Louvre. When you go to the Louvre, you need to wear good shoes. And I
Mhm.
don't know if my shoes weren't that good, or I had already done all the walking that that the limit for my feet that day. But so I was on a mission. I wanted to see
Okay.
the Mona Lisa, and I wanted to see the African artifacts. And you know, with the number of the crowd, I didn't see much more than that. So we actually,
Mhm.
there were three areas that we went into. The Christian with which is a corridor, and then there's a room where the Mona Lisa is, and then we took the elevator down to the African artifacts, and my feet said, "You're done."
You're done.
So
All right.
you're done.
Another question for you. Is the statue of the Virgin Mary black?
No,
Okay.
no,
All right.
no.
Okay. Did not. All right. But I am excited about it. Yeah, you had a lot of crowd, but you know,
Yeah,
I think Paris is always kind of busy, but it was Fashion Week too. So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
being there at Fashion Week was amazing too.
Yes, yes, it was.
Yes. All
Yeah.
right. So there's a few things that Paris is known for, and everybody has heard it once or twice before. The people in Paris are rude. What are your thoughts on that? And how did you experience any of that?
Quite honestly, there was only one situation, one time where, and I wouldn't even say that they were rude, but more indifferent,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they were the people that were working at one particular restaurant that we went to. And that is the only time that I experienced, you know, people that really they just seemed like they didn't care if we were there or not. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, I didn't encounter the rude French, you know,
Okay.
stereotype that you hear about. Um, y- yeah, I just from the hotel where we stayed, and as I said, we were within walking distance of the Eiffel Tower. but everyone that was at that hotel, the staff there, they were wonderful. They accommodated us on that first night and stayed open to feed us dinner,
Oh,
and we
nice.
were the only ones in there, so that they were open just for us.
Okay.
So they were extremely accommodating. We had a different tour guide for each time that we went out, and our tour guides were wonderful. There were just, as I said, that one particular place, which is a shame because the croissants there were the best I've ever had. I mean,
Yes.
buttery and flaky. Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the best croissant I ever had, but I doubt if I would go back just because, you know, we would ask for water and they were, pour the water and walk off and
Mm,
just as, it just seemed like we were in their way.
right. So you already went into what the next one that Paris sometimes is known for is the pastries and food and wine. So you already told
Yes,
us you had some amazing Chardonnay. So
yes,
that's definitely on my list for July when we go. And
yes,
then this croissant.
yes,
You said it
yes.
was so buttery.
Yes. Now, the restaurant where we had this particular croissant, the best croissant I've ever had, was Les Editors.
Hmm.
And it was actually, we went to Les Editors and then walked to the Louvre.
Hmm.
And so that's why I didn't get to see too much of the Louvre. We did a tour of Black Paris. From the end of the tour of the Black Paris, we walked to Les Editors. And then from Les Editors, we walked to the Louvre.
Hmm.
So, by the time we got to the African artifacts, my feet had tapped out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Les Editors, that was the buttery, flaky. Oh my God, it was just absolutely wonderful. It was a
Yes.
dream, and the macaroons that you see there, they weren't bad either. They were, going back for seconds and thirds.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
I know this is probably Pam. She says I didn't like the food, but I was in my early 20s, so hopefully I'll like it again.
Yeah.
Pam, is that Pam, is this you? So I remember when Pam went to Paris, she didn't like the food at that time, but she's going again because she loved it that much. She loved the culture of Paris and everything else, but didn't like the food as much. So she's going again next year when we go. And then this escargot, right? No, snails. These are
Yeah,
snails.
it's escargot.
Did,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you have them or did you take a picture of somebody
I
else's?
didn't have them, but somebody, but somebody else on our trip had them. But no,
Okay.
yeah, that's yeah, a little bit further than you know than
Yeah.
I like to
A little
go.
bit further than where you want to go.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
You know
no,
what,
not for
Tamika,
me.
though? I would try them. I would try them just
Okay,
because, right? But
right. When in
but I
Paris.
don't know if I'm gonna order them. But if somebody else orders them, okay, then I probably would try it.
Yeah,
I would try it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I hear they were excellent. I hear they
Okay.
were very, very good. So you can have some and then tell me about it.
Right. Right. Okay. So we have another question. Do you speak French? How easy is it to navigate if you only speak English?
Okay. I do not speak French. I know a little bit. I took French as a young student, so I know some phrases. But honestly, I didn't need to speak French. When I had to ask a question, everyone that I spoke to, they spoke English.
Hmm.
So it would be helpful to know some key phrases,
Right.
how to say good day to someone, or good night, or where is, or how much. So simple phrases like that, I think, would most definitely help you navigate Paris. But uh, when they seem to appreciate, I would say something like bonjour, and they will come back with hello, to
Yeah.
let me know that I speak English and it's okay, 'cause
I
I
have,
really,
like you, I took French. I took French in college. I have, but I typically always try to learn those basic phrases, as you said. Hello, how are you? Where's the restroom?
yes,
How
yes,
much is another one? So I try to learn those basic phrases. You had your tour guide with you, as I'll have with me, and they speak French and Spanish, so
yes,
then they can help us with if we
right,
don't speak any French at all.
right. Right. But honest, when we would go to the different stores and so forth, there was always someone there who spoke English. So,
Mhm.
uh, you know, you can't make it without speaking the language, but definitely try to learn some of the key phrases.
Some of those key, yeah, I agree with you. What about it was already you already mentioned that it was Fashion Week.
Yes.
So Paris is also known for fashion and it's known for perfume and things like that. So shopping, I know some people are
Yes.
gonna really want to shop when they're there.
Yes, yes, and a lot of we had some shoppers on our trip, so you can make a reservation at the Louis Vuitton store. Uh, where are some of the other places that they went? Um, Hermes, Louis Vuitton.
Hmm.
Um, but yes, several of those places you can make a reservation. And from the pictures, like I said, I did not go, but several of the people on the trip with me did go. They were served champagne or, Moscow mules while they were looking at the different purchases that they were going to make. Now, from what I understand, this isn't, if you're just planning on window shopping, that could be seen as offensive to them.
Hmm.
It's like wasting their time. But if you are a serious shopper and you're ready to make a purchase, then I would suggest calling and making a reservation at whichever store that you want to make. And then they treat you like royalty,
Right.
with serving the champagne or whatever your taste may be. So, from what I understand, those items were cheaper than what you can get here in the United States. And Paris also offers a VAT tax,
Hmm.
so that the taxes that you pay on it when it's purchased in Paris, you get that money back when you go to the airport and are leaving to go return to the US.
Right.
So, so that's like an added discount off the already lower prices that you would
Hmm.
typically find in the US.
So it's great for those who are actually planning to purchase. If
Yes.
you're not planning to purchase, then you might just want to look at the
Yeah.
window or so, but don't actually go into some of those higher name brands
Right.
because they're expecting you to actually make a purchase.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, for the one young lady I know that went to the Louis Vuitton store, she was like assigned a person. So, when she made the reservation, there was someone who was assigned to her. So, you're taking that person away from other
Right.
customers. So they want people who are ready to buy.
Nice. I'm excited for those who are shoppers to actually
Yes.
get that experience because we don't get that experience a lot here in the US,
Right. Right.
whereas there if you're actually a shopper, you want to make an appointment, then great, you can actually do that. And there are on my trip there is a free day, so if you want to do it on your free day, but we also have some time blocked out on other days for shopping. And
Right.
so if you want to do that, and I think it's a great experience for
Yes.
those who actually, want to have that experience and plan on making their purchase. I'm definitely interested in the perfume because there's so many good brands, and we're gonna do everybody that comes on my group will leave Paris with a very unique perfume because they're gonna make it themselves.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. I'm
Okay. Yeah, that
excited.
sounds really nice. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So other things we talked about eating at the Eiffel Tower. That was one of your favorite things. It was you had a great view of the city, and was the food really delicious?
Yes, I really enjoyed it. I've noticed that French food is not as sweet as what we do here in the U.S. So we had it was, I forget the name of it, but it was wrapped in spinach with some cheese. Cheese is very big over there, of
Hmm.
course. Um,
Yes.
so if you're used to hamburgers and hot dogs, you're not going to see those quite often. So just be prepared to experiment a little bit. You don't have to go as far as escargot, but
Hmm.
uh, it's just a little bit different. But it was very good.
I want to try it all. I want to have the croissants. I want the macaroons. I want the escargot.
Okay.
And definitely I want the Chardonnay.
Okay, definitely the Chardonnay. And that's one thing that I will say. Um, I would suggest it for people who like to drink alcohol, stick with more the wines, either red or white. They didn't seem to have the mixed drinks, so when I
Okay.
would order something, a mixed drink, they didn't quite have the taste that I'm used to. And a lot of times when you would try to explain to them, it's with vodka and this or that, what you ended up getting, you know, like a chocolate martini, they actually gave
Mhm.
me an espresso. Uh,
Oh,
so yeah, so I would say unless you're absolutely sure what you're ordering, you may want to stay closer to the wines and, the reds or the white, which were absolutely wonderful. But I would stay away from the mixed drinks from the places that I went to.
okay. Did you have any reds that you liked, or did you stick with your Chardonnay?
Yeah, I'm a white wine woman,
Okay.
so I don't think I tried a red at all.
Okay. All right. All right. I like wine, so I'm excited about trying them out. Okay. So,
Yeah,
as we've talked so much about Paris, because this is our Paris talk. I want to talk to you guys as well, and Tamika will, also jump in here about the benefits of group travel, as we both offer group travel to our audiences. Some of the benefits I always find is that sometimes people don't have anybody to travel with. Maybe, or they may have friends, but they don't have friends who travel, or they have friends and their friends are traveling with with their kids or something else. But in that group travel space, you can come solo, you can come
right,
with a friend, or you can come with a spouse, because as we both have groups that are open, open to men and women.
right.
So if you don't have someone to travel with, it's a great way to still get out there and get a chance to see the world. And as you see here, I have my group from St. Lucia, and this is Tamika's Paris group from just a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say that I've had solo travelers on both my Dubai trip from last year and this Paris trip. And uh, it is less than 24 hours before those solo travelers have made new lifelong friends.
Yes.
Uh, in the picture you see that's up now, the woman in green in the front row, she was a solo traveler in Dubai in October of 21.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a group from the Dubai trip who travel together now,
Mm-hmm.
after just meeting each other for the first time. There's another guy in this photo who was a solo traveler in Dubai. And he's part of that group that now travels with the woman in green. This trip, there was a young lady who was a solo traveler, knew absolutely no one, including myself, when she started making payments for the Paris trip. And there are now people that she calls auntie and uncle on the
Mm-hmm.
trip. She posted in the group about her new family that she found on her trip to Paris. So group travel works.
It
Um,
worked.
for those, I understand the fear of going someplace and not knowing anyone, and you think that they're going to leave you out, for dinner conversations, and it's not like that. It doesn't
Right.
work like that. Um, we put together a WhatsApp group, and they put in there, hey, we're going to the Louis store tomorrow. Who wants to go? And
Right.
people will respond, hey, I want to go, and everybody,
Mm-hmm.
um, people who did not know each other. Some of us on our free days, some of us went to London, others went to Brussels. And
Mm-hmm.
then and what they did was, we're going to Brussels. Who wants to go to
Who wants to
Brussels?
go? Right.
And a group of people who were from different places, had never seen each other before, went to Brussels together. Then
Right.
another group who had not known each other prior went to London.
Mm-hmm.
So that feeling of I don't know anybody, by the time you set your luggage down at the hotel, is gone.
Right. And I would say in this my St. Lucia group, I had never met any of those women other than my sister who was on the trip. None of them had I met before we actually got to St. Lucia. but we had Zoom calls, we had our WhatsApp group. So
Yes.
we got to know each other over, as
Yeah.
some time went on. But I hadn't met them actually in person. And I'm not saying this as a person who just has a business. I've done group travel as well.
Right. Right.
Even the group that I just went to with Cuba, some of those ladies I had never met before. But quickly as you get there, you make this bond, and traveling with people, it creates a different bond, and you get to know each other and you have a really good time. So that is some, just if you don't have someone to travel with, you're worried about it, join a group.
Right.
I think that you'll definitely enjoy yourselves. And another benefit is all the planning is done for you. You
Right.
know, all the planning is done for you. We're Tamika and I were researching things.
Yeah.
We're putting these trips together, so you don't have to worry about any of that.
Right.
All you have to do is pack your stuff and head to the airport. The
Right.
research is done for you, so you don't have to spend hours doing that. That's another
Right.
great benefit of group travel.
Right. And in the research that we do, we're not trying to just get you to Paris or, to wherever that next destination is. We're trying to curate for you unique experiences. So it's not, every trip that is going to have you make your own perfume while you're in
Hmm.
Paris, or not everyone gets to eat lunch at the Eiffel Tower.
Right.
So, we curate different experiences to make sure that that's going to be a trip of a lifetime with memories that will last forever.
Forever. So these are just some of the benefits of group travel. We hope that you will consider it, and definitely give it a chance. There are many destinations you want to see, and hey, it is time to get there. Life is short. We don't want to just work every day. We want to enjoy life, to experience some of these things that we've seen on TV or read about. All right. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed talking to us. If you have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Tamika will see them and she can answer them as the day goes on. But Paris is a dream, and I'm here to make it a reality. We are going to Paris. Rad Travel Group is going to Paris next July. So definitely come on with us if you are wanting to go to Paris. All right. So next week, no, not next week, 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. No,
In
next
2 weeks.
week, the 30th.
Are we going to talk Cuba? No, we're talking Cuba in 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're
Yeah.
talking Cuba.
Yeah. So in 2 weeks, Tamika and I will be back and we'll be talking about Cuba. So you definitely want to get on here. You want to hear all about Cuba. It's an amazing location. Tell your friends to get on with you. So right here, 4 o'clock in 2 weeks, we are talking about Cuba. All right. But thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Right. Bye, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.